Welcome to Andy D. Cole's podcast. Please like, share and subscribe.
Welcome to Andy D. Cole's podcast. Press like and subscribe.
Welcome to Andy D. Cole's. Sit back and enjoy. As we dive deeper down into the rabbit hole and into the unknown. Where the paranormal becomes normal.
Hello, welcome to today's show. Don't know what happened then. I don't know why it went onto that screen. I do not understand at all what went on. Anyway, hello.
Hi.
Everyone. Hi,
Hello.
Nicole. Hi, Dominic. Hi, Sarah. Hello to everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining us. So this is our second encrypted table. Michelle Gray cannot be with us today because she's having to help her mum move home. And today's the only day that she can do it. So, and that's that. But she will be coming. Sorry?
Hi.
I said, but we have Dominic.
Yes, we have Dominic.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you,
yeah, I was just
Dominic.
explaining.
Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
Hi. You've been up to a lot, haven't you? Your spooky investigations and bits and pieces.
I have indeed. A busy little bee. Yeah.
That's good.
Lot.
It's all good. Right, so 2 updates. So those who don't know, which is most people in the chat, I had a kind of encounter yesterday. I don't know if it was my encounter or the other person that were there, if it was their encounter. But I'm going to get to that second. So firstly, going to go on about BenchGuy. So with it, what I did, I emailed the full video to Sarah's twin, Emma, because I owed her, because she does all the cartoons for me and that. So I promised to send it. So I sent it over. You guys were all together and watching it. Told you to skip the crappy bits and all that, which you did. And then...
No, we didn't.
Oh, did you know? Oh, you should have done. Yeah, don't bother with all that. It's awful. And
No, we watched it.
It's horrible to me, telling you. So what I did, I finished work early the other day. So I thought, right, I'd already downloaded it. So I thought, right, I'll redo it onto the channel. So what I used to do on most of them, I'd start the stream as I was leaving my house and end it as I was getting back to the house. It was more as proof that I wasn't doctoring the video. There's no editing. There's no messing about or setting anything up. What you see is what you get, and you see it from the very beginning to the very end. So because it's been on there, it's the 22nd of April, 2022 or 2021. It's either 2 or 3 years that it's been on there. I can't remember. I've just forgot. I literally had a look like 10 minutes ago. So I cut the beginning of it off where we're traveling to the first cemetery. I cut the middle bit out where we're going from cemetery 1 to cemetery 2. And I cut the end bit off where traveling back home. Trimmed it all down, put the intro and outro and put a break in the middle like all the others that we do. So put that on there. Did that on Wednesday it was. So last night, again, I thought I just needed to go through it. So I went on the iPad because I do all the editing on the iPad. It's a lot easier because I've got the pencil to do it. And it's just, you can pinpoint a lot of the stuff using that. And I got on that bit and I got it to the point where I'm starting to talk to BenchGuy. And there's 7 frames where you can see him on the film. So each frame, I took a screenshot. So there's more, but you can't see anything. They're the only 7 where you can actually see something. So I've got these 7 images. And I set this one image. It makes me feel sick looking at it. It gives me anxiety. I can't look at it for too long. I have to shut it off. I don't even suffer with anything like that. I'm normally easygoing, as you know. And stuff like that doesn't really bother me. It takes a lot. But I think it's the fact that I was having a conversation with him. And I would talk about it a lot. And then when Dominic became part of what we do, and he did the aura with the colours and that, it kind of gave it a new perspective. And just other little bits and pieces that have gone on since then. I just felt that I needed to go back to it. So I got these 7 frames, screenshotted them all. So the last one I'm going to show is the first one of the video. That's the first time you see him in the video. I'm showing that last because it won't make sense for me to show it first. Right. Are you ready?
Right, suspense is killing us. Show the picture
So-
now.
Right, let me find them.
No, just put them up.
Right. So this is the one. This is a thumbnail that I've used on there. So as I said, when I'm talking to him, he's not sat like that. He's sat up straight like I'm in the chair, like we all are sat up in the chair now. He's not slouched over. He's sat up and he's looking at me at an angle, right? Now, this is the second frame from the video. So that's his face, and that's a white streak on the back, either the back of the bench or the back of his jacket.
Okay.
Next one. That's his face. But I don't think that's his face. I believe that that's an orb. And that, what I actually believe now through studying this for the last 30 hours is that there's an orb either coming out of him or in front of him, and it's putting a false mask or protecting his true identity, and that orb is part of what you see. So what I'm trying to say is when we see all these different cryptids and then these orbs about, that orb, because I think the orb is a ball of energy, whether it can shapeshift into a solid figure, which is most probable. I believe that the orbs are used to not protect the identity, but to cover the true identity of what it is we're looking at. Only from studying this is what my latest theory is on it. And as I show you the photos, you'll understand why. So this is the next one, which is a bit more light to it. So you can clearly see where my torch or flashlight ends. It's not even close. Why is his face still glowing orange? And you need to remember as well, all the orbs I've seen, or 99% of them, have been that colour orange. The drone that I seen going through the trees that morning up near Rutland Water, which is the shape of a car headlight, was that colour orange. It's like the old style light bulb. With the valve and the filament rather than LED or xenon.
It's plasma energy, Andy. It's plasma. It's plasma electricity. That's the colour. Okay?
Yeah, so all the orbs I've ever seen pretty much have been this. There's the next. So that's zoomed in.
That's a good one, that one.
So
I
if
can
you
see
look,
it better in that.
you can see his eyes and his grin. Like a big grin. So I'm going to zoom in on that. It's going to be pixelated, but you can see a big like Joker grin and the eyes. That light is not his face. That's either being emitted from his face,
That's his energy.
or it's protecting, or it's shielding his true identity. because when I'm talking to him, I didn't see that. That was not there. It's like I'm looking at you three now.
No,
It's just
that's-
a normal face, a normal person, pale skin, Dutch accent, trackies, hoodie, baseball cap. Sat on a bench, sat upright. Just sat straight up like that. He wasn't crouched over, nothing. Right? This is the next one.
But Andy, when you say he's actually disguising his true identity, I differ with that. I think
I don't
he's
know
actually
if he is, but I
showing.
think something is.
No, I think he's showing you the fact that he comes from that energy source. That's the projective energy.
But
of
I
who he's
didn't
actually
see
showing.
this. So in the 2-minute conversation that I had with him, I didn't see this light, this ball, this plasma, whatever you call it.
You wouldn't.
So it's
Because
only
people-
showed up on the camera.
People that was watching live didn't see it either. Some people didn't even see anyone sat on the bench. Some people couldn't hear him. Some could hear and see. It was a mix of hearing, seeing, and not seeing, and a mix of all that. Right? So then back to that one, which is a zoomed in version of the other. That's the one I can't look at. It just makes me feel sick.
Yeah, because you can
It's
see like the eyes and the mouth.
Yeah. That's demonic to me.
Yeah, it is.
And the first thing I thought was when I walked away and reality kicked in, like I'd been in the head with a brick, or you walk into a shower and it's freezing. It's like, oh, that initial shock. I just thought, it's the devil. Didn't think anything. I just thought straight away, it's the devil. I even say that on the stream.
Dominic, what does orange like? What is that? Does that represent
I can't keep it on any
anything
longer.
or?
Yeah, well, for me, it's the protective outer energy of the force that we have in our bodies. It's a natural occurring energy that we all have, and I think that most orbs that I come across are a degree, and depending on how far out they go, sometimes they go out quite a long way from what you actually see. But the degrees and the shades can get up to about 50 shades of different shades of orange in that one orb. Looking at that particular orb, it's obviously, for me, it's a projectile orb. Yeah, it holds the energy of an entity, a frequency. There's green. If you look at it closely, when you blow that up, there's green and there's a slight yellow tinge around it as well. And that actually tells me that it was once sentient. So this is, right, it's not demonic, in my opinion, although I respect what you say, Andy. It's almost like it's the energy that's been left over when someone's actually transcended. And that energy may have been emotional, may have been difficult, may have been captured in that moment. But what's happened is the good energy is gone. It's actually taken away into dimension. And what you're left with is a shadow energy within that orb. And
Right, I'll give you a bit. I'll put the next image up, and then I'll give you another thing of what I'm not 100%. I'm probably about 30% that this is what occurred. So this is the first image, the first still from the frame of the beginning of that part of the video. That's what he looked like, except he wasn't wearing blue. That's how he was sat. That's how pale he was. As soon as I took my next step in the video, it completely changes. In my vision, he stayed like that until I walked away.
Yeah, because he's a vibration. He's a frequency. You mean that isn't something that's actually there as a whole, as a real, as a mortal. Okay, that's a frequency you're seeing, and frequencies change wavelength, and that's where you'll see. Somebody else might see that as purple or as pink. You saw it as blue when you first went into it.
No, but that's the thing. I didn't see it as blue. That was black.
See it as black.
So
See,
the pale of his face and his hands That's how you see it now. That pale, the lightest part of that's how pale he was.
Yeah, but have you ever
But he
seen?
wasn't blue. It was black.
Okay, but black is a shade of something.
Yeah.
Okay, every
I get
black
that.
has a base color, and what you've got there is you've got a particular frequency as an image. That's almost like looking at a hologram, if you want to put it into technical terms. But it's not a hologram. It's actually made from plasma energy that has a vibrational frequency that you're witnessing at that moment.
But how did I have an interaction with him for up to a minute and a half, 2 minutes?
Okay, well, look, that's
like I'm talking with you now.
Yeah, but that's why it's paranormal, because it's not something we understand. That's why we call it paranormal. If it was the normal thing to have conversations with plasma people or ghost people or spirit people, then we would be thinking that was a very normal thing to do. What you've had the actual privilege of is being witness to something like that.
But the thing is,
much rarer. You've had a conversation.
Yeah, as I'm talking to him, and it felt 9:15 on a Friday night, talking to him like it's not like I've just seen me mate walking down the street. It was that sort of conversation.
Andy, that's irrelevant. How you talk to him is irrelevant. The bit that's relevant is that you had interaction, and very few people actually have interaction with energy.
Yeah,
you had that. There's obviously something about you that allows that to happen, because you obviously have a frequency that they can acknowledge you on. You know, sometimes those entities aren't even aware of you because they can't see your frequency. And I know that sounds crazy, but it works the other way around to what it works for us. And sometimes we can't see the frequency. They can't see us.
In these pictures, in these images, he had a mobile phone in his right hand, which is furthest away from us, and you could clearly see it. It had like a tinted green background on the old style smartphones when they first come out. There is no phone in his hand in any of them.
No, because your perception of him is different. You know, I mean, what you witnessed is going against what your perception is now when you see the photograph. So you're questioning what you actually saw.
Yeah.
Dominic, did aura change at all from, like, you know, that first picture where it's completely normal looking to when he's glowing? Does it appear differently to you?
So from that to that, they're next frame images.
Yeah,
that's less than 2 seconds. That to that is less than 2 seconds. Probably less than a second.
Change.
No, but that orb, that energy, which is an orb, and it's an elongated orb, has come out of that first image. So that's the actual, what I would look at as a life force or a power force of that particular entity.
So
and that's how they operate.
So that has come from this.
Yeah, but you've got to remember, but that's a frame, so that's not even a second. That's like a tenth
millisecond.
Of a second. Yeah. So you're really fast, and when something changes form or something comes out of a form, it comes out of it instantly. If you've ever seen an orb come out of a tree, or if you've ever seen an orb come out of a dog or a person, you will see it comes out instantly, literally next frame. And that's really what you're seeing there.
Yeah. So for those that come late, this is frame by frame of the video that I could get a screenshot of.
In that first picture where it's more blue, is that his phone that he's holding? What is he holding in that? Can you
I seen him holding the phone in his right hand, so I'm literally looking at him.
Yeah.
Virtually face on, probably like 7 degrees out.
It doesn't look like a phone, though.
Like a phone.
No, it's too pixelated, and it's. I can't get. If I zoom out, you can't see anything. If I zoom in, it's too pixelated.
Can I ask you, Andy? Yeah. When you remember something, you recall it, and because you're recalling it each time, it slightly changes the picture what you're recalling. It might just be by fragments, but everything seems to come into that way. And what I've I've experienced before now with entities is that if you have 3 people see the same entity, each one has a different perception of what they're actually seeing. And that makes me think that the entity can actually grab hold of that person's thoughts and manipulate those thoughts to be thinking that they're seeing something that maybe they're not. Because that's why you get 3 different descriptions. Whereas you've only got you here, haven't you? Nobody else witnessed this with you. So you've got nobody else to really...
So there was somebody else in the cemetery with me, but he had gone round the other side near the chapel to do his own investigation.
Yeah, my point is nobody else witnessed it with you. Okay, so you're the sole witness. So
I'll give you the other part to the story now then. So I'm chatting to the guy on the bench, explaining to him what I'm doing. I said, I'm with me mate, blah, blah, blah. He goes, oh, the guy with the cap on and the camera? I went, yeah. He goes, he's just walked down there. I'm like, right, okay. I went, sorry because I'm blinding him with the torch. I went, sorry about that. So as I'm walking off, that's when reality kicked in, like, shit, what just happened? And then I found Mark, and I'm chatting to Mark. And the full conversation with the guy, he goes, oh, yeah, he's just walked past me. He's just walked past the bench now. So Mark was filming it on his phone for his own documentation. He then stopped it because he was still filming, went back in the video, went to as he's walking past the bench, and there's nobody sat on the bench.
Yeah, but it's very possible, see, in my mind, that you've witnessed a living ghost.
I don't know what it was.
I think, well, I can only speculate because I wasn't there, and I can only offer a governed opinion because of the evidence that I see. But I've come across this previously as a living ghost, and people that are still alive can be seen miles from where they are, still walking up and down different places or sitting on benches that they've sat on previously. And it can be that what we're doing is we're witnessing the actual energy of a person that is somewhere miles away. And it may well be that that's what you've done. Yeah.
Right. So this is the other thing. So I said he had a really strong Dutch accent, spoke really good English. He looked and sounded like he was his mid-20s, 24 to 27. I need to get the audio off the GoPro. When you listen to his voice on that, he sounds like he's 78-year-old man, like old and frail. Now, the area of the cemetery where these benches are, it's the best kept area. It's where the Commonwealth war graves are. It's a semicircle. There's 2 full rows, and there's a smaller row with about 5 or 6 at the back. A lot of the names on there are German, French, Czech, and Dutch. But most of them are from, I'm sure they're from the First War. There are a few there from the Second World War. And it's like pilots, co-pilots, engineers, mainly pilots that have been shot down.
Would that have any relevance to that meeting, though? Just because you're in that part of the cemetery and you've got those particular graves.
Could be coincidental. I don't know. It's just that
this is what I'm saying.
And these Dutch names on the headstones.
It just happens to be the place where you've seen this.
Yeah.
If you'd have seen that in the middle of Tesco's.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought anything of it.
No, exactly. But what I'm saying to you is that there's lots of things that we see that we don't see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if you look down a high street, you'll see people walking, but you don't know each of those people is actually walking down that high street. You just think you see that. Whereas with you, what you had is you had a reference point. You managed to get pictures, and you managed to capture some energy on those pictures, which shows that you either had a conversation with energy, or you actually had a conversation with something we don't know what it is.
I had a conversation either way with
and that's the
whatever it was.
And that's the fact. But is the location relevant? Is the only thing that's relevant really is the conversation.
But the thing that's throwing me out there a little bit is the fact that of all the places you would go on a Friday night was sat on a bench in the middle of a cemetery. But thinking about it, so if he sat opposite his war graves, it could have been a family member that's buried there. It could be their headstone, like a great granddad or something.
Andy, how long has that cemetery been there?
Oh, at least 200 years.
So there's over, how many generations would that be? About 20 generations of people buried in that particular, cemetery. So if you've got 20 generations of people being buried there, you've got generation after generation of the same family. You've got generations of people that would have known each other, lived together. And also you've got a place where maybe it attracts energy from different dimensions.
Well, the thing is as well, the cemetery has got different sections. So you've got it's not like a parish cemetery where it's just from one area. You've got different people buried there from different communities around Northampton.
Yeah, but my point is, right, and I take your point, but what I think is that is a situation that we might encounter anywhere. You just happen to be in the graveyard.
And what else we've done it a few times, did it a couple of weeks after, did it last year. Reenact. Someone sat on the bench. I've sat on the bench myself with the same camera, the same torch, exactly the same equipment at the same time of day to reenact, to see if we could get that glow, to get that image, to get anything similar. Nothing. Yeah, nothing at all. Not even close. Other than being sat on the bench, that's as close as it got.
Yeah, but you're expecting it this time. That's the difference.
No, we was trying to recreate it. See if we could
but what I'm saying to you is you've already had the experience, right? That's already been created in your thoughts. So now you're trying to recreate that same experience again.
To see if we can give a logical explanation to it.
You won't.
No.
You will not find a logical explanation. But what you will find is if you try to recreate it, you might recreate something different. Because it's a unique one-off experience that will not be reproduced because you're in that moment. And who knows about time? We don't really know whether time exists or not. So it could well be that it just happens at a certain point or a certain dimensional shift. And that's what creates it. Because the way that we look at time is so much different to how the universe works.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I totally get that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's all the detective work I've done on that, other than me going back and seeing if I can see him or anyone again. Or it.
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
We were sat there scrolling frame by frame in the same way, just to try and figure it out. Just
to get something logical.
Sarah, on your investigations, have you ever come across orbs that have faces in, or orbs that have double boundaries around?
No.
Have you come across? Yeah, because
I haven't.
Okay. It's something that you get to see. You investigate long enough.
Yeah.
You will be lucky enough to actually witness an orb with a face in. And
see, we haven't seen, well, not in person. I've seen things reviewing footage, but not like that. Not that was physically there at the time. No. Have you, Nicole?
So reviewing, we've seen them. There's been a couple times where I think we've seen something go past, but it's so quick, it's hard to say what it is. But upon review, then you can see especially the double boundary ones. Those come up a lot.
So I've seen shadows and things, and I have seen a bit of an anomaly that was like a grey silver thing that whisked across the floor once, and it disappeared, and it was almost like we were at Tatton Old Hall, and it was as if you imagine a cat ball but with no light rolling across the floor, and then it disappeared, and we all saw it. That's about as far as I've come to seeing sort of an orb or a light anomaly or anything in person. Never seen anything with colour, never seen anything with a face until like in person. Have reviewing footage, but not in person like you have, Andy.
But
You
you've
want
seen
to get to
shadows,
King's
right?
Park Cemetery and check it out.
See,
I
I
know,
think you were just really, really meant to have that experience.
Right time, right
Yeah.
place.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, not just that, but the right attitude. Because a lot of people go into these investigations and they don't have the right approach or the right attitude. They don't ask the right questions when they experience something. So the things that they really experience just passes them by.
Yeah.
Yeah. It obviously felt safe with you and open with you, and things like that happen to you a lot, though, don't they? So you must have something about
wait
you.
till find out what happened yesterday.
And we have another story.
This is never experienced anything like this. It's nothing like wild or fantastical or anything like that. But do you want me to do it now, or do you want me to do it in a bit?
No, do it now.
Rip the band-aid
Right.
off.
So, no, I don't have any photos. I was in Peterborough. I was working. It was around, I think it's around 9:10-ish. 10 o'clock. So, going through a little village, heading towards centre of Peterborough, and I'm coming up to a set of traffic lights, just a normal main road. So, the right-hand lane was filtered for turning right. Popcorn, shut up. It's not that long. 9 o'clock, that was it, right? It's just gone 9 o'clock. So I'm coming up and I noticed a woman with a dog. No, it's a different story. Don't worry about it. And she had like gym gear on. Do you like the skins, the leggings and the jacket? Like when you go jogging, the speed walk, dog walk, all that kind of stuff. It was a full setup, right? So I'd say she was mid to late 30s, dark hair, and she had a golden retriever. Yeah, it was normal size for that dog. And she's just stood there. So you've got the road, and it's not a bridle path as such, it's a footpath, but it's for cyclists and dog walkers. So they're away from the road, and it cuts through some trees. And as it comes into where the traffic lights out, it opens up a bit. And you've got bushes, and it's like a little bit of a garden, probably about 20 square foot. You've got bushes cut about size of your knee. Size of your knee, the height of your knee, so about a foot and a half. And she's just stood there. And I'm level with her at the traffic lights. She's just a little bit back because I'm having to bend my head round. And she's not moving. She's like froze. I thought, is the dog having a dump or a wee? And that's why she stopped. So I'm looking, and the dog's looking at her like, well, come on, what are you doing? Why are we not moving? And it kept looking up and looking round. Then I thought, is there someone else with a dog and she's waiting for them to pass? No one else about. There's a car behind me and a couple of cars at the side of me waiting to turn right. I'm turning left at the lights, but you've got to drive a bit before the left turn. So this goes on for about 25, 30 seconds. So I'm looking at her. I'm close enough. So from the side of the van, the passenger side, to where she is probably about 10, 12 foot away. So I reckon I'm about 15 foot away, like person to person. I'm looking, not blinking, not moving. I couldn't even see if she was breathing. Right?
Wow.
So the dog's moving about. You see the trees blowing in the wind. Do you have the poo bags in that little basket thing that you tied to the lead?
Mm-hmm.
So as you had there, a couple was hanging out, they was blowing in the wind. And she's just stood there, completely froze, not moving. I thought, well, is she on a phone? No earbuds in, no headphones, no phone. She stood there, leading her right hand, the other hand down by her side. And you know when someone's looking at you, you can feel it straight away. I'm like that, proper staring, right? For like 15 seconds. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. But it gets better. So I'm checking the lights. The lights change. in my van, I've got a camera in one of the rear doors, so I've got a digital interior mirror, which is zoomed in. So you can, when cars are behind you, if someone sat behind you in the traffic, you see them picking the nose, you can see what they're picking out the nose. It's that clear, right? And it's 120-degree angle, so it's like a wide angle lens on it. So obviously I've got the wing mirrors as well. As I drive off, so as I put it into first gear, I'm not even got to the point where I'm starting to turn. I look in the mirrors. She's about 30 foot in the opposite direction, walking away. So from where she was to where she now is in less than a second, she couldn't have done that without being the Flash. So she's moved that far because where she was past the start of the line of trees in the garden bit. Where she's about 20 trees deep, walking away. And she was obviously because I'm watching her in the mirrors. She's walking away, and the dog's walking with her.
Was that her who glitched, or you?
So,
or the simulation.
So this is the next bit now. Sorry, 1 second. So, as I'm watching what's going on, I'm looking at me like, am I froze? I'm moving, but have I stopped? And I'm looking around, I can see the trees moving. There's other vehicles going down the road. There's nobody else walking about. There's nobody with another dog. There's no other dogs. There's no squirrels. There's nothing running about. The dog wasn't agitated or anything that it was going to chase them. It just stood there and kept looking up at like, what are we doing? Why are we not? I thought it was going for a walk sort of thing. It just kept looking up at her like, what's happening? And I'm checking the time on the van and checking the time on my phone and because I have to write down the times when I do each drop because we have to write the temperatures down as well. So I'm checking that as I'm checking everything else to make sure I've not some sort of time slip. But this, like I said, this lasted for about half a minute. And then as I'm driving off, just before I'm about to turn left, I look in the mirror and she's about 30 foot. I've only driven like 4 or 5 foot. She's 30 foot walking away in the other direction. And the dog is in the left hand, whereas when she was stood there, the lead was in her right hand. I've just realised that now.
So it's like the world's kind of
lagged. The dog is on the same side as they're walking away.
What if everything else was moving at the same speed, at the normal?
Well, the dog was moving. You could see stuff blowing. The dog poo bags were blowing about. Cars were going past. I had the radio on. That was going.
What is her perception of her time reflected on you for a minute?
This is what I was thinking.
Like when, because time is your perception, right? So do you know sometimes how you think, gosh, it's a long day today, and other people are like, wow, like today's flown. What if people are moving in their own
at a different speed
of day, and you've just seen her leisurely slow day like sort of reflect on you.
But I'm staring at her and she's like, and I'm looking for a blinking. I was going to put the window down and shout, are you all right? Is she having a seizure?
Okay. Have you seen the video of the 2 dogs with the owners? Have you seen that video? A couple of owners take their dogs out for a run, and as they take them out, these 2 dogs stop in midair as they're running, and they literally stop for 30 seconds in midair, and the owners have videoed it, and they've literally been in a very sort of difficult position to stop. Everything is just still, and how the owners described it was like the dogs had hit an ice block, just been frozen in that moment. And what you've just described is exactly the same thing.
But this is the thing. So she had longish hair, probably not as long as Sarah's, probably just past the shoulder. Yeah, a little bit short, about there. Yeah, about there. A hair weren't even moving in the wind. Nothing on her was moving.
You've got a time slip. You've literally been. It's just been caught in time.
Well,
Or
No.
what if she was experiencing? I used to have Alice in Wonderland syndrome when I was little, right? What if she had a bit of Alice in Wonderland syndrome and it was coming out? It was expressing. I don't know.
Yeah.
what
But like,
Alice
think
in
about when
Wonderland?
you're driving and you lose time when you're driving. Maybe that's like she does the same walk with her dog every day, and that was just her lost time.
Yeah.
But
So
where
what
does that
if-
30 seconds go?
See, the other thing I thought, what if she'd been abducted and that was just her body and they've took her soul and then they brought her soul back because they'd seen that I was there?
No.
Or, yeah, what if she returned and then sped up to where she should have been? Had she not have been
Could have been.
abducted or anything?
Yeah.
Could we have both been abducted and that's why that happened and then we was both put back, except my time was at a different time than hers. My time was normal and she sped up, like you just said, to where she would have or should have been at that point.
Yeah, something
Not that I
like
feel like I got abducted
what
because
you
I still had to do work.
But what you've just said is like the Matrix, isn't it? Yeah, where there's little glitches in the Matrix, and that it's a hollow Earth, with all these big projections in, and sometimes bit parts miss a part of what they should be doing. And if you're there and you see it, and you capture it, then you've witnessed to something that doesn't fit into our reality. It fits into a different reality.
Yeah, see, I've never, ever experienced anything. I've seen it on TikTok and Instagram and all that, but it's easy to, when I'm doing the intro and outro video, you can freeze certain particular parts of that video and everything else is moving. So it makes it look like that. It's so easy. Once you know what you're doing, it's so easy to do. You do it on an app on your phone.
You've just reminded me. I've got a really funny video, and not fun. It's not funny. I've got a video when I was at services once, and it had I think it was at Oxford. It might have been Oxford. It's got a fish pond, and none of the fish were moving in the pond. They were all still. And I've got a video of it. I'm gonna try and find it now. Yeah, they were all still. Not one of them moved.
The fish have to move before they die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have to move.
Yeah.
Was it a winter's day, Sarah?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I was going to say, if it was cold, sometimes
because they stand still and
slow right down.
Yeah.
Right. I have got the video.
Okay. Well, you're finding that.
Right.
The best thing I saw ever like this was a lady looking into a mirror and having a totally different face than what she actually had, and she captured the picture of what she was looking like and what her mirror image looked like, and it was different.
Oh, that mirror would be getting smashed up in another 7 years, bad luck. I won't be having that.
That's weird, isn't it? I remember it's really clear, and there's no explanation why that would happen that way.
The place I'm
See,
going
the only
tomorrow,
thing I can put anything
Brian.
like that down to, is editing. And if you know how to edit, it's not easy. If you know how to do it, it can be done. No video editing's easy, trust me. But yeah,
I just can't. I know people might spend their time doing stuff like that, but you can soon suss it out, can't you? Because these days with these video technicians, and they look at a thing and they can take away the program of what the actual digital program is, and they can see if it's been altered. That's how that princess got caught the other week, because they could see that all her images have been photoshopped because they didn't have a concurrent code. And so every video, every picture has a concurrent digital code that you can see if it's been tampered with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's quite easy to spot if you know the digital technology.
Although that conspiracy is all over now. They came out and made the public statement now. They're not all looking for her anymore.
Not that I was looking for her anyway, but unless she's in a graveyard.
Who are you talking about, Nicole?
Kate Middleton.
Kate Middleton.
Yeah, Kate Middleton.
Oh, look, that picture was the picture that was in the papers was obviously, I saw it 2 days before it hit the press, and I already sort of put a statement out about it saying this picture is obviously a composite picture, and that's what it proved to be. And they've been doing it, and they've been doing it for years and years and years, and they've been manipulating people through press coverage and images for a long time. Nothing's what you think it may be.
Oh yeah, don't trust the media with anything.
Nope.
Anybody that's got something to gain out of publicizing something, if somebody's not got nothing to gain, then they've got a legitimate case to publish it. But if people have got something to gain, you've got to think about why they're doing it. What's their purpose behind it?
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot of what goes on within the industry of the paranormal. Because if people publish pictures, we're trying to figure out what's in it for them to do that. And if there's nothing in it for them, then they're worth looking at.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Shall we take a break? Because we're at the 45-minute. And then someone else can talk for a bit.
My goodness.
Would you believe I spoke more than Dominic in the first 45 minutes?
Andy, I think you speak more than me, full stop. But what it is, I want to speed you up a little bit. I want to sort of wind you through, so you're sort of speaking at a faster
45
pace.
minutes in 2 minutes. Yeah. Right, we'll go for a break and then we'll move on to some more exciting. Yeah?
Okay.
Cool. Right.
How long we doing?
Can't find the videos. Too many pictures. Right. 1 minute 21. See you then.
Let's go.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
Like, subscribe, and hit the bell.
And we are back.
Dominic didn't like your video. He left.
No, I know he's still there. He effed off for a while, but he come back.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know where I went. I sort of disappeared
so-
down a rabbit hole, I think.
Um,
I think I was trying
Blue
to
Shift
work out
just
why
put,
Andy was talking so much. Right.
yeah, Blue Shift just put love in the intro exit graphics. Just want to say that it's Sarah's twin, Emma, who does the actual, would you call them caricatures or cartoons of us lot?
Well, a caricature's kind of like exaggerated, isn't it?
Well, my head isn't that big, can I just say? So,
They are a little exaggerated.
yeah.
I mean, and I'm not that thin, but
And I don't think Nicole, her legs are that long.
No.
So,
so let's
Yeah,
Nicole
so-
has a very little body.
Why can't we just live in cartoon land? It's a much happier place,
yeah,
isn't it?
you do what you want.
Next
Yeah,
time
so-
we come back to
Yeah,
Cartoon Land.
Yeah,
We
so
like
Emma
cartoons.
does all the cartoons for us, and then I put them into 2D animation. I do the rest of it. I just haven't got the talent to make them look that good.
They're brilliant,
So-
aren't they? They're always
They're
very
amazing. They are so good.
they are good. She is good. She does all of our pop art stuff.
Yeah.
So
She
And we
should
all
be a
look really good at
professional. Yeah. She should do it professionally for a living because it's just amazing what she does.
Yeah.
It's really unique as
Yeah.
well. It stands out. and it sort of always captures you when you go past it and you see it. You think, "Oh, that must be Twin Investigates," because there's so much going on in the picture. Yeah, absolutely.
There's so many people though that have asked me who does them and can you put them in contact because we want ours doing.
Yeah, she's had a lot of people asking her to do it like for them as well. So yeah.
That's what she wants to do.
everyone's going to be cartoons. Like the paranormal will just be full of cartoon characters.
But I just think it just looks really good.
Yeah,
it's
a
great comic strip. It'd be a great comic strip for a paper or something, wouldn't it?
Well,
you could
took,
have a story every day.
Like he's saying, we have to have like a cartoon episode where we just do
it took 2.5 months to get legs.
Yeah, well, do you know what you should do? You should do a video of yourself, because Emma's got a program that turns your video into AI. So you might have seen it on our intro. That's actual video footage of us, but it's been made into AI. So that would be good.
Well, I'm on TikTok if you want to go have a look. You know, there's loads of videos of me on there. So,
I'm happy. I'm happy making the videos as long as I've got the stuff to make it with. Then I'll do a 2-hour video for me.
Yeah. It reminds me of that. Do you remember Angela Anaconda?
I remember Angela Anaconda. They're boys. They didn't watch Angela Anaconda.
No.
Do you ever get that song stuck in your head? The theme song to that?
Angela Anaconda was probably something totally different to me. I don't know where that comes from at all.
It used to creep me out a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It used to creep me out.
What was it, a cartoon or?
It was. Yeah. It was basically like these cutouts. And then they just like kind of go across the screen and like talk. And it was very interesting.
It reminds me of do you know when James and the Giant Peach? It reminds me a little bit of that. Let me find the. Oh no!
Oh, you have to do it at an angle. Yeah.
No,
completely gone.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, and they move like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the little cartoon characters.
Yeah. You should update Scooby Doo. You really should. You should all do a character, and you should all have this sort of cartoon character that you publish and do little TikTok videos to go out and just promote your Twin Investigates thing. It'd be great.
And you've not seen us done up as Scooby Doo, have you? The Scooby Doo gang.
In the pub. No. Is that the one in the pub?
Yeah, in the hotel. Yeah, we again, you're not going to be able to see this.
No, but you can pop it up on Facebook later. Yeah, I love that sort of stuff. We should have a dressed up ghost hunt. I think that would be brilliant. I think that's
we
very
do our Christmas investigation. We do like a Victorian theme, so everybody dresses up in the clothes.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. That's
fun.
I think that gets everyone in the taking part mode, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. No one can escape if you're all dressed up.
Yeah, but it gives you like an interesting interaction with the spirits too, because like you're wearing the things that they would wear in their era.
Yeah, clothes have a lot of energy left on them. If you buy second-hand clothes, you get the energy of the person that was wearing it. And that's something else.
Yeah.
Well, we got a crazy interaction because the one girl on my team was dressed as a man. She had like a top hat and pants on, and a spirit in that place did not like that. They were not okay with her being dressed as a man because it wouldn't have been proper.
So you're provoking spirit as well at the same point.
Not intentionally, but
but you are. How good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get the reaction. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, right. I've got a couple of questions. So this one's from Blue Shift. This is regarding the frozen woman. So he's saying, Andy, was there any no noise phenomena? Now, other than the radio being on in the van, I didn't hear any noise. Did not hear the dog barking. Didn't hear the wind. But I wasn't listening out for sound. I was just trying to look around and see what was going on. So possibly but I can't be 100% on it. So
What about
I
your
don't know.
indicator, Andy? Did you have to indicate to turn down the lane you were going down left to?
I want to say yeah, but most probably not.
Don't get him in trouble now.
Because I think it was a filtered lane as well. So,
but you would normally indicate to go down there, wouldn't you?
I don't remember the indicator being on. I don't remember hearing the indicator. But I think that's one of them noises that you get used to.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Become indicator deaf. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the next question. This is for you, Dominic, and this is going back to BenchGuy.
Okay.
So it's from Fred Flintstone. Dominic, did the man on the bench want to be seen? Did he want something from Andy? I hope not.
Okay. I don't think he wanted to be seen. I think he was just seen. I don't think he had an intent to be seen. But what I do think is he was able to interact with Andy because he's on the same frequency. So I don't think it's about like anything. What does anyone want from anything? It's just recognition. And I think if he got recognition from you, Andy, I think that was probably what his main purpose of interacting with you was, because he showed himself to you and he made sure that he was able to interact with you. So that interaction was pretty important to him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's probably the way that he verified that he was who he was at that moment, but probably might have thought that he was something totally different. I mean, living ghosts do this a lot. They interact with the people in the place where they're actually seen, but they only interact in the way that they would normally do. So that guy would have probably been quite a friendly guy who wanted to talk, and that would be his normal behavior. You just happen to be someone that he could talk to.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Just got another question coming in because I do want to move off this, but obviously I'm not going to ignore questions. So this is from Elaine. The people you was with didn't see who you was talking to. So I was only with one other person. He was over the other side of the cemetery. And he'd apparently walked past BenchGuy. BenchGuy had seen him, but he didn't see anyone on the bench. Everyone that was watching the live stream, so there's Deb Singleton and Ryan Mee that were doing the studio while I'm out and about in the cemetery. That I can't remember exactly what they said. I think Ryan said he couldn't hear or see him. Deborah said she couldn't hear him. There's other people. Joe is the best person to ask. Other people in the chat, it was either they couldn't see him, they couldn't see him and couldn't hear him, they could see him but couldn't hear him, they could see and hear him, or none. Yeah. So it's a mix of everything. But during the live stream, most people couldn't see or hear. Watching it back, the people that couldn't see could then see it in the rerun of it. But some people at the time thought I was talking to myself as they couldn't hear or see anybody on the bench.
I've got a question, Andy.
Uh-huh.
Did you smell him?
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds that I didn't go up and start sniffing his armpits or anything like that. But I was smelling, see if he was smoking weed or anything, or even tobacco. I got close enough. I was trying to see or smell if he was drinking alcohol. Nothing like that. I was trying to look what he was doing on his phone because Pokemon Go was a big thing at the time. So I thought I might be going catching Pikachu or something. I don't know. But he's like certain Pokemon in certain areas. Mm-hmm. So there's some hot spots and some like the rarer ones are in really obscure places.
The ghost one.
He didn't have a bag. Yeah, he didn't have a bag with him. There's no bag, no alcohol, no, couldn't smell smoke, nothing. Didn't smell of anything. Sometimes you can smell someone if they've had a fry up. You can smell like the grease on the clothes. Because when I used to be a taxi driver, I'd pick people up. It's like, yeah, you had chips tonight, because you could smell the grease on them. You know what? But it wasn't horrible smell. It's just because that's the clothes that they wore while they was eating whatever food it was. So I'm kind of quite good on that. I just don't go around sniffing people. I'm not some freaky weirdo.
But you could
But
smell
yeah.
him.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's no smell, no aftershave, nothing
Now
like that.
let me
No
ask.
body odor.
Let me ask Sarah and Nicola. Have you ever smelt a ghost?
I've smelt like smoke or just muskiness suddenly, but not an actual, not really a scent that, I don't know.
I've had
Nothing
phantom
other than
scents.
that. Yeah.
But like you, I've never like smelled a ghost, but I've smelled things that I've attributed to a spirit.
Okay, so you've had a unique experience, Andy. Again, it's another part of it, isn't it?
Don't like this unique stuff anymore.
Yeah, but it's nice that you have unique, because I'm sure that the girls have done lots of investigations and are very interested in this stuff for a long time, and they've never ever smelt someone that's ghost that they've talked to. That shows
But then
you
that makes me wonder if because I'm paranormal, I'm more sort of spirits and ghosts and things than anything else. So I'm wondering if this wasn't a ghost or a spirit, and it could be something else that's non-human that maybe Andy is more open and receptive to, which is why it was sort of showing itself to you, whereas I've never had anything like that experience. Yeah, like just cryptid. Something, I don't know, not from like some kind of cryptid, or don't know, maybe even like a skinwalker.
Something from the Fey realm.
Something that's not, something that is not spirits, not.
Oh, wouldn't that be a little bit scary? If it was a skinwalker, that would be
right.
Really
so, let me get to the very end of what happened that night, other than not being able to sleep and having investigation hangover for 2 days. So I've spoken about it before, and it was the last time you was on, Dominic. So me and Matt, we went walking round, and we walked down to the chapel, which is as you drive into the cemetery, it's directly in front of you. But we kind of go up the hill because that's the main area for all the headstones and graves and that. That's the older part, I should say. The new part is down and to the left, but it goes right out into like another field. So as we're walking around there, literally stopped the live stream. We're talking within 10 seconds. That's where we heard that scream that sounded female, but not a human female. And the only thing I can put it down to is in an American Werewolf in London, where he starts changing when he's in the apartment. And the scream that he does in mid-change, it was that, but with a feminine vocal to it. And Mark just went, not today, spun round, and we literally footed it out of there.
Sounds like
so
a
that
mimic.
was it.
Yeah,
that's what you said last time. So whether that was the same connected to what was on the bench, or it's two separate things, I honestly couldn't tell you. We didn't hang about to find out.
Yeah, well, shapeshifters, may be able to mimic whatever. Yeah, it's just a thought that you might a shapeshifter, maybe a energy that could change and shift and mimic voices. It obviously had a voice because it spoke to you.
Well, I've been in that cemetery, been in on my own, been in with groups, been in just me and somebody else. I've cut through it, done Sunday walks through there, and we've had some encounters, but nothing like that. The only other time was when I'm stood at the bench opposite him, and it felt like I was put into a protection bubble. Everything slowed down. I couldn't hear anything, couldn't hear the stream, didn't know what was going on. And it was like someone had grabbed me on my shoulders and was pulling me away from what was going to happen. And that's in one of the streams as well.
Away from BenchGuy?
No, away. So this is another time that we went there at the Commonwealth Graves.
Oh, right, okay.
And as I'm walking, it's like somebody's walking at the side of me, and they're either standing on twigs or walking on gravel. I looked at the floor, and it's like bowling green grass. It's that short and well looked after. There's no twigs on it. There's no leaves on it. There's no gravel. There's nothing on there. And I could feel pressure in my right ear. I'm like, I've got to get out of here. And as you go down like as I'm getting up to these steps, I turn round, like and facing towards the grave. So the car's behind me. It was with a guy called Richard. He comes in the chat, Richard the Red. It felt like something grabbed me, and I was floating through air, and I was being dragged away from what potentially was going to happen. And that is all I know.
Was
that
it
was
the
horrible.
same section, like the same area?
Yeah, within 20 foot.
Maybe then there's something negative lingering around there, and you approached it.
I know.
Maybe you've got a guardian angel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know I have. I know I've got a guardian angel because I do pendulum work. And I've not done it for a while. I need to start doing it again.
But they actually say people have two, one on each shoulder. So you may have two guardian angels.
Good one and a bad one?
Yeah, devil and angel.
Yeah, the devil and the
I
angel.
Yeah. Well, some people might have that as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Just got
That's
two
for another
problems.
conversation. But there's also invisible creatures out there. So there's creatures that we just do not see. And that's another thing that, there's many cases. And if you've experienced something walking alongside of you, you sense it, but you don't see it. And you might see signs of it through footprints, or you might see signs of it through a sound, but you certainly wouldn't see it because it's on a different frequency to what you can see.
We have another question for you, Dominic. Can you expand on a living ghost, a bit of context? Because you've said that what you think Andy saw was a living ghost.
Yeah, sure. We can all be living ghosts. When we're asleep, our actual spirit can leave our body and go and walk down the high street somewhere. Or there may be something within a doppelganger that you have a totally same shaped person as you that can be seen elsewhere. And it's what it's not thought about as being a projection of your energy into a place where people can see you when you're not there. So one case, a lady was seen walking down a high street, but not the normal lady who would normally be walking down a high street. She was 20 years younger. So it was like a replay of her doing what she used to do 20 years before her actual time now. And she's still alive. So that's what's known as a living ghost.
Yes.
Anyone that's still alive that you can see somewhere else during the time where they're still living.
See, I spoke about this before, but I call it residual living. So instead of a residual haunting, it's a thing. It's like stone tape theory, where something has happened that so many times in life that it can still carry on, even though it's not happening. So I'll give an example. I know she wrote my nickname. Where she used to live, she heard her husband coming in. She had the keys in the door open and come in, expecting to come through the door. Anyway, it wasn't, but it was the time that he would have come in. Now, when she spoke to him, I think it was nickname. When she spoke to him, he came in later and he'd been delayed. Yeah, it was. I wasn't 100% if it was there or dead. Yeah, so she had the key. So I said, well, it could be just something playing through time because it happens every time, pretty much every single day. It's a residual living, not a residual haunting.
Okay, there's one other thing that happens is that very similar to what you said, Andy, is that people have energy imprints. So like if you sit in the same chair every day, even when you're not in that chair, your energy imprint is in that chair. And people can see that or feel that.
Right. Are you ready? I've just remembered something. This happened a while ago. I think I was on the phone to Simon. And I was on the phone to someone anyway. I got out my van, I walked around to get the stuff out the side. walk back. As I'm walking back, the house is opposite, so I'll look through the passenger because he's a sliding door for the chiller bit. So that's on the side of the van. As I walk past the passenger window, I seen someone sat in the driver's seat who I thought was me, but it wasn't a reflection looking back because it was a 90-degree angle, like I'm sat in it and looking out.
Previous driver.
So, no, but it looked like me.
Well, yeah, but then a lot of drivers look like you, Andy.
No.
It's
Have you seen drivers around here?
no, but it's very likely it could well be you, an energy imprint or energy signature.
The thing is,
you.
we take the vans home, we drive the same vans every day. Unless it's going in for a service or, it was Simon. Unless it's going in for a service or anything like that, then we swap vans. Other than that, we're in the set. I've worked for this company for 5 years this year.
But
I'm on van number 5, not for accidents, just been upgraded each time.
Yeah.
So
it opens another sort of thing about haunted cars and haunted vehicles that have their previous owner still in the car with them, and that's quite. There's quite a few stories of people having encounters in cars with people that are still.
I won't say who I bought the car from, but I bought a car for next to nothing. It was only a little crappy Fiesta. And then I found out the person who I bought it from, his partner's brother killed himself in the car about a month previous.
So with like the energy imprints on like objects, do you think that's why, if you always sleep on this side of the bed and your spouse sleeps on the other side, if you switched, it feels so weird because you're in their energy imprint?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually tried that the other week because I wanted to sleep near the window. It's like, no, I can't
It
do
feels
it.
wrong.
We'd have to turn the bedroom right round for me to sleep on that side.
Or sometimes if you lay there and maybe they're not there, but you lay there and you feel like they are.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if you're like facing away or something and you think, so they just
take it
just
another
feel
level
like they're there.
And think of what
But
it's
if
like
it's
to
anywhere else, like a hotel, it doesn't feel weird to sleep on the opposite side.
I won't sleep in hotels because there's too many people been in the bed. There's too many people been in that bed. And I feel the energy, and in the bath, and there's so many. And my wife laughs at me now because she says I can't take you to a hotel because you just don't like the energy in the beds. It's just weird. It's really
do you know I sleep better in a hotel because it's like I've paid stupid amount to be here. I'm having a good night's sleep.
Yep, and you don't have to worry about making the bed in the morning or nothing.
No.
Yeah, I had a bit of an encounter in Amsterdam in the bath where I actually got very close to a guy who had a heart attack in that bath.
Are you sure you want?
It was weird.
Is that the story you're sticking to?
Yes. It's too much information, really, isn't it? But
I had an encounter in Amsterdam in a bar.
I had an encounter. Yeah, it's that.
Andy
that
had
line.
an encounter in a hotel. Him and Simon.
There was it was just sleep and storage.
No, you don't want to be hotel rooms.
Simon tells it a little differently.
Well, do you know what though? When we got to the hotel, the beds were pushed together. It was like that's not straight away. We just dragged them one side of the room to the other.
Hotel rooms are horrible. They are horrible. Then
I love hotel vibes.
Me too.
I always cleanse mine before I sleep in a room that I haven't slept in before.
I just think someone else is going to sleep in this bed after me, so good luck to them.
Yeah, but thousands of people have slept in that bed. Thousands.
All right,
not just hundreds. Thousands.
That's so funny. Sorry. Yeah. But I'm guessing they change the mattress every 7 years, so we'll be all right.
Yeah.
They don't even change the sheets half the time.
Well,
I make sure I don't. Do you know, like, this sounds really weird because it doesn't benefit me at all. But I always take the sheets off because And the next person, I think, they're just going to look at this sheet and think, oh, it's clean. I'm just going to leave it. Like in school, how we used to worry that they'd rewarm food again. And we used to, like...
What? No,
In
I
school-
never worry about that.
We used to worry that they would reuse the sausages from break at lunchtime. So if you gave your tray in and you had a whole sausage on there, we used to cut it in half so they couldn't reuse it again. I know that sounds really weird, and it's the same with hotels and towels. And if I always take my sheets off, and
You
like
cut
dump
the
it
pillows in
bath
half
towel.
so no one can sleep.
Oh, yeah, stab the pillows, smother my makeup all over.
I honestly
Put a little ketchup on
never
it.
worry. I have never worried about eating rewarmed food, whether it's at school, in a restaurant. Don't care. As long as it
We used
tastes
to have
all right,
sausage.
I'm happy.
Break in high school, we used to have sausage and toast and all that, and then and then at lunchtime it was suspiciously something with sausages.
Okay,
So
but I
it was
went
always
to
like,
Olive Garden, and you know how like Olive Garden they have the breadsticks and you can get the side of like sauce with it to dip it in. But there was a noodle in the sauce, so they might have reused that sauce.
oh,
So
Right.
that happened.
Right. Baby with a laser is asking, what school did you go to? Butcher College.
you don't want to know. It's like
That's
when
so
you get a
funny.
random. Do you not think it's weird when you get like a random pea in your food and you think, where the hell has this pea come from?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Like the noodle, it was there, and there was nothing with noodles around, so it had to be sauce from somewhere. So I think somebody didn't like finish their pasta, and they just scooped the sauce out.
Now this is one food that I miss from school.
Oh no, it's like frog spawn.
Emily loved it.
I don't even know
Couldn't
what that
beat
is.
that.
Is it the frog spawny stuff?
Yeah.
No, that's tapioca.
Is it?
Tapioca
Oh, yeah.
is the frog spawn.
It's like
Semolina's
thick,
brown rice.
milky sugar.
Oh no, I'm thinking of tapioca. Yeah, you're right.
Thick, milky sugar is what it looks like.
Semolina
I'm
is
thinking-
just ground rice in a paste in a bowl.
It's nice though, sweet.
You eat it with jam.
I use a
No,
spoon.
it is. It's tapioca I'm thinking of. I can't.
Yeah,
the texture
that's
of
frog
tapioca.
spawn. Yeah.
No.
Ugh.
I wonder if food
no.
ever gets haunted. I wonder if anything happens to anyone that's ate anything. I wonder if anyone watching has actually ever had an experience after eating something that's haunted.
Never thought about that.
It's energy, isn't it?
See,
Energy,
now I'm
energy.
just thinking about that coffee. Have you heard of that coffee that's made from like some animal in the rainforest poop? Like they
No.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Yes. And then they like
Yes.
pass it through and like then they make coffee out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so it's been like,
is it through? Did you do it
reincarnated.
through cats?
I don't know. It might be a cat.
Is it not? Is it not like a badger or something like that? It's something. Oh, it's something really weird.
It's a civet. Yeah, it's a civet.
That's a cat, isn't it?
It's the cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, I have heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you
That's gonna be
look
some
at
haunted coffee.
it's horrible. If you look at people that eat meat as well, their aura is a lot heavier. It's a lot darker than you look at people that are vegetarians. The whole aura just pulls in and gets really heavy. So I always think that maybe people pick up the personality of the animal that they're eating.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have an aversion to pork, so maybe
Well,
they
I
don't
mean,
want to be like.
Yeah,
that
but-
might explain.
I like pork.
Yeah, but you
That
think
might
what that animal's
explain why
been
you're-
through, before you've eaten it, and that energy that animal's had inside of it before it's been slaughtered for your consumption. Think of the negative feelings that are in that animal at that moment. And
No, I
doesn't-
just like the taste.
Well, maybe
Otherwise, I
that's why
won't eat anything.
I don't want to put you off meat, anyone. If you're meat eaters, but I'm
Maybe
just
like
saying.
ethically sourced,
Yeah,
cage free.
I've
Yes.
never eaten meat because of it.
So, this is what I was going to talk about. So, Aidy's just put it up. when patients get an organ transplant and they get memories from that donor. So So I'm guessing Dominic has met somebody who's had this done. How does their aura change?
It's well, it depends. It's cell memory, first of all. That's the theory behind this. Is every cell in your body has a memory associated to the things that you've been through. So it's not just your brain that holds the thought process, it's the whole body. Auras don't really change that much if someone's had an implant. It will show it in a different sort of colors around them, but you can see that there's been some sort of disturbance within that part of the body. But what you won't do is you won't actually get a signature for a kidney or a liver or a heart, because they have very similar signatures. It just has a different energy to that person's energy, and that's why we have the cell memory that links us into the things that that person would have liked. You know, like the guy who had a heart transplant and then started riding motorbikes or drinking lager when he's never done it before, and that sort of stuff. It's really quite fascinating how we can be attached to somebody else's memories or tastes. Yeah.
Do you know what I find fascinating? When people have sort of a brain injury or something, and then they speak an entirely different language or accent, I think, have they unlocked a previous
I knew you was going to say that.
Did you? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this could be the soul. See, the soul could be the energy source of everything that we know. And if we have an injury, it can actually access that vibration to that particular knowledge. So it wouldn't surprise me. You know, I mean, people do have a lot of experiences with past lives that are actually induced by some sort of trauma. And that really does.
I meet a lot of people that have had organ transplants through work, not just another random hobby, but do it through work. But because I'm working, I don't feel it professional to ask them anything in case they put a complaint in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because some people can be.
If they want to tell you, they'll tell you themselves. But most people that have had an organ transplant have a story.
Yeah.
And they're quite happy to share it very often.
It's more about if they've got any, like, this unlocked memory from the previous owner.
Yeah.
Technically, it's what it is.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of documented cases of that. There's a lot of people that have no reason why they would know the stuff that they know. And you can't logically explain it just by what we know now. So it just makes it something that we don't understand. It's definitely a thing, but we don't know why it's a thing.
There we go. So a colleague of Aidy's, after having COVID, started to speak in different accents. He's got brain scars, but they can't figure out why he now speaks in these accents and does it unintentionally.
Interesting. See, that's past life related.
Yeah. Or what if it's something more like our brains are so like absorbent and pick up everything we hear, we don't realise it, so that we can actually perfectly mimic accents and languages that we've heard, but we don't, like, we're learning it all, but we can't we haven't unlocked it until something traumatic.
I've got a story on that. I'll tell you in a second. I just want to read this from Vincent. Hi Vinny, welcome back. He's been off Facebook for a while and hopefully he's going to be coming back on the show. He's got some stories to tell. He really has. So his dad had a liver transplant and he started liking different foods and had weird memories.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very common story, and it's quite strange. And when you look at it, there's no explanation for why. And I think Vincent's dad is a prime example. As soon as you start talking about this stuff, somebody who's watching or somebody that's actually taking part knows somebody that's gone through this. So it's very common.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as for picking up accents, Sarah, I find it, I struggle with English. So to pick up an accent from somewhere else.
So I just said a lad who used to work with, like called Jack. He's from Bedford, and we used to work around the countries. We used to install photocopiers that would go all over the place, like everywhere in the UK, including Ireland. No matter where we went, he would start talking in whatever accent they had, but he didn't know he was doing it until he started doing it. So he couldn't stop in case he thought he were taking the mickey out of him.
Have you seen some of these football managers as well started talking in the language of the clubs that they're managing? Did you see
No,
one
I
very
don't do football, but
one very famous manager went to a Dutch club and he started speaking with a Dutch accent at his press conferences. It was really quite strange to see it happening. I think it's something we might do to adapt to our environment, try to actually feel that we fit in. And that's probably where nobody really knows where accents come from. You know, why would you speak in a different accent to me? Why would we do that? You know, it's the same language. Why would we have different? Why would we do that?
Yeah, that's true.
My
It's not like
sister
somebody
watched a lot of
wrote
British TV growing up, and now she kind of slips into like a British accent on certain words. It was just so ingrained in her brain from watching all those shows.
see, I do with this. I try and use phrases more so for Nicole and like people in America that are watching, because some stuff we like when I say torch over here, it's a piece of wood with burning fire on the end. So I remember flashlight, sidewalk, and all that kind of stuff. So I have got in that frame of mind for doing that. But obviously not everything. But then it just becomes second nature. You do it without even thinking about it. But I do have another story about a woman and a car. No dogs involved. Can I tell you this one? Because I think this is a time slip.
Nickname said accent show coming.
Oh my God,
Until
we should
next
all
week.
pick an accent and
I
see
said
it. Can I do
You have to
Derek?
do an
I'll do
American
some
accent.
Derek. No,
I'm
I'll
not
do
doing
Derek.
any accent.
Hi, no, Brian Kai.
Right, should we stop now?
No, I like the silliness. Come on.
Ah, there we
I
go,
can do
from
it.
Stuart. So his stepson's partner speaks to us in English, but her parents are Scottish and switches to Scottish when speaking to them. See, I do this a bit, and I know a lot of people won't notice it, but when I'm down here, I speak a lot like Southerners. But as soon as I'm on the phone to someone, like family from back in Manchester, or I'm up there, straight away my accent goes, I don't notice it, but it goes straight back to a Manc accent. And as soon as I stop or end the phone call, back to whatever accent it is I've got now.
See, I go more Manc when I'm around Emma because I've diluted
Yeah,
a
right.
little bit from. Yeah, she's proper nasally, like
Yeah.
proper nasally. But no, she's proper Manc. I've kind of diluted a little bit.
You've moved out, haven't you?
Yeah,
You're in
I've moved
Cheshire.
out. Cheshire.
Yeah, the posh part.
Definitely not much. And then my brother lives in Liverpool. I live more Stoke way as well, so sometimes I might be a bit Stokey.
Stokey goes a bit scouse, though, doesn't it? Because we've got family in Stoke.
It's like if I say something, like I might say, "Is that all right?"
Yeah.
Is that all right? Is that all right?
You're all right, Duck.
Just a left of centre thing. Do you think animals have accents?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do cows move
Not all
in
of them,
different
but a
ways?
lot of them do.
Yeah, the ones in Cheshire go tweet tweet.
If you look at the different words for like the animal sounds in different languages, I think they do, because some of them just don't make sense. Like in English, a cat meows, but in other languages, they do something else. I'm like, it doesn't sound like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, see, so it's not just a human thing.
I don't think
No,
so.
I don't think it is. Right. So can I quickly tell you this story?
Yeah.
So me and Jack were in Edinburgh and we're in a hotel for the night. No, it was separate beds, just to make that clear. So we'd gone, we're pay for a meal and then pay for us to stay in the hotel. So anyway, the food was crap, so we'd gone out to get something else to eat. So we'd gone, the nearest thing was like a kebab shop, and we'd gone getting some snacks as well because we had a long day the next day. So we're in the centre of Edinburgh, yeah? So a car pulls up as we're waiting, and there's a woman, I'd say 50s, on her own. She goes, I think I'm a little bit lost. Can you tell me how to get back to Leeds? So Edinburgh to Leeds is what, a 5-hour drive? Ish. She dropped her son and his girlfriend off at a concert or something, and she had to go back and pick him up for like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So she dropped him off about 7, but was in Edinburgh like 8:30, 8:45. And I'm like, you're a little bit out of your way. You're in Scotland. She's like, what? And she couldn't understand how she got to Scotland. Anyone who's been to Scotland, don't matter what road you go on, there's a massive Scottish flag, probably about 8 foot by 10 foot. And underneath it says, welcome to Scotland. You cannot miss it. It's that big, right? And to get to Edinburgh, so you go straight up the motorway and then it veers off Edinburgh's to the right. And there's no way you can not know you're in Scotland. But she goes, I don't understand how I got here because I dropped him off at whatever time. It's this time now. There's no way even on a train, you couldn't get there that quick. And she goes, how do I get back to Leeds? I went, it's going to take you at least 4 or 5 hours. She goes, I've got to be there in an hour. I'm like, you're not getting back there in an hour. And that was it. So, thinking back on that must have been a time slip.
Well,
Yeah, definitely.
You've only got her word for what's happened.
But she didn't come across as lying. She was genuinely like, I don't know how I've got here. I dropped him off in the centre of Leeds. I started to drive home, but that was it. I took a wrong turn because the road works. And I don't know. And then I just followed the road and I've ended up here. Because I didn't have my sat nav on because I thought I'd be able to find my way. Well, if you put it on now, you'll see. But
there's 2 scenarios, isn't there? One is that she's genuine and she's lost and she's gone through a time slip, or she's a Fruit Loop.
That did come across because when she said, I need to get back to Leeds, I'm lost, we just looked at each other like, you are nowhere near Leeds. So that was our first, but she was on her own. She wasn't, I don't know what car it was. It was a nice car. She was dressed smart. She weren't a crackhead, didn't look like a crackhead or anything. And she was genuinely worried that she couldn't get back there in time.
See, if she'd been genuine, she'd have noticed that the petrol had actually run out in her car, wouldn't she?
No, but it hadn't. So I said, how much fuel had you got? I didn't say that. That was Jack. He went, surely you'd have noticed your fuel. She went, I've still got half a tank.
Yeah, well then she's had that.
So I just presumed she tanked it up or whatever. I don't know.
She's either been abducted and flown, she's had a time slip, or she's got very confused.
She got very confused. Yeah. She ended up in a different country.
Yeah.
Well,
and it wasn't like you've got Lockerbie and Gretna Green and all that, which is like the start of Scotland.
It's a long
This
way.
is Edinburgh, which is about another 100 miles at least from that point.
Yeah, it's a long way, and it's a 2.5 hour drive
from Edinburgh to the Scottish border.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Edinburgh is the first place you really come across, isn't it, of any sort of
the first major town if you go
town when you get to Scotland. But even so, you wouldn't get lost and find your way there
you're driving through, well, our version of mountains. As you get off, as you're going up the M6, it changes to the M74 or whatever it is, 78.
A1 or A1
And
or
then
something.
you're going through hills and mountains and you see the ravines and all that. And then the road splits and it says Edinburgh to the right, Glasgow to the left, and other places as well.
Yeah. Did you ever follow it up? Did you ever, try to find that woman?
I just thought, she's not getting home. She ain't picking anyone up.
What if it wasn't a real car and a real person? Maybe a phantom.
Yeah.
It was weird how she just stopped at us. And it was a busy, in the middle of Edinburgh, it's capital city.
Yeah, but you've got previous of meeting things that aren't quite,
not then. This was, what were we, 2015.
Yeah, but but you still got the capability of seeing things that others don't see.
Well, I thought she was genuine, and we even said to each other, she must have set off earlier or she'd been drinking, was what we actually thought afterwards.
It's your first reaction,
but she didn't sound drunk, couldn't smell. Not that I was smelling for beer, but couldn't smell alcohol on her. I don't know.
It's just funny how she stopped you guys. Two strangers in Edinburgh. Princess Street is a huge street, isn't it?
We was in a hotel right opposite the train station. Our window was overlooking the train station,
which is next to Princess Street, isn't it? If you go, Princess Street is all the way up from the train station. If you come,
it's on the bend,
train station,
right on the bend.
Yep, and there's a hotel, and there's a great big long street, and that's Princess
that's
Street.
where we was. Yeah, that's where we was.
Yeah, and that's to get to Princess Street by road. You have to actually divert into it. You can't just drive straight through to it.
It's like driving into any city centre.
Yeah,
it's not like a road that you straight down and straight in.
It's not a motorway. It's just a normal road. What it used to be. I don't know what it's like now. So it sounds a little bit sort of strange that she would be there at the same exact time as you were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we was going to Leeds the next day. We had 2 drops, one near Durham, and then to Leeds, because we had to cross over one of the bridges, and I don't like big bridges, so I got Jack to drive. Well, I sat there with my eyes shut.
Yeah, no, I think there's quite a few stories of people that have come across phantom drivers, phantom cars. There's quite a few people that see accidents being recreated at certain weather conditions.
Because the thing, she had a handbag. It was on the passenger seat, and she was getting a phone out. She goes, "I'm going to have to phone them and let them know where I am and how lost I am."
Yeah,
very lost.
Very odd. Yeah, I mean, there's no explanation that we can offer.
We just thought she'd either been drinking a bit of a Fruit Loop, or didn't even think of it being paranormal.
Yeah.
Because we were concentrating on what time we had to go in to be up for work and what our journey was going to be, where we was going the next day with the jobs that we had heading back to Bedford.
Yeah. But who do you know who you're talking to?
You don't, do you?
Yeah.
Any of us could be ghosts here right now.
That's true.
No, solid. Solid.
Yeah, but you would say that, wouldn't you?
That's what ghosts would say. So when I say I never have any encounters or experiences, ignore me because it's pure bull. I do. I just don't consider them as that because it just feels normal.
Yeah, but then I think the majority of people who live their life would not go out looking for paranormal experiences, and they might not even recognize them if they occurred.
Probably not.
But then there's people like us who probably really enjoy exploring what may be out there and just trying to find the truth behind these things. So we would take them a bit more seriously. But we come across the stories quite often, and we sometimes personally experience those things.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a bit of a privilege to be able to first-hand experience of a situation is an amazing privilege, and something that you can talk to other people about to see if they've had the same first-hand experience.
Yeah. Oh, got a quick question for you before we end the show, because we are coming up to that time, unfortunately. So this is from Nickname. Has Dom ever stayed anywhere he picked up a death in the room?
Ooh.
All the time. A lot of the time. Yeah, I've
Is
stayed
that-
in cars.
Can I ask, is that one of the reasons, another reason why you don't like staying in hotels?
I don't mind deaths. I don't mind that. I don't mind because it's a natural part of living. It's just the feeling of a person. When someone dies, they leave an imprint, and I think we can communicate with that imprint, and we can do something called soul-to-soul communication, because the soul lives on, and we can still communicate. And that's how I think mediums work. And if you stay in a house or a building that's got an energy imprint in it, or a feeling of someone, not being conscious there, but being subconscious, if you like, it's just very normal. I don't think there's many places. One of the spookiest places you can ever go is on the London Underground, on the Tube. That's a really spooky place to be. I hate it down there because there's so many energies. Yeah,
I like it on there. More so at night, even though you can't tell when you're down there whether it's day or night, only by looking at your watch. But I'd definitely do an investigation down there.
There's some really good places where you can do that. Some of the tube lines they don't use anymore.
Yes.
Really, they hire them out for people to do investigations. They're really good places if you're really into the paranormal and you really want to discover something. It's the same with old hotels and bridges. For some reason, railway crossings. They're all places where you actually come across, if you like, the energy, the imprints of
the crossroads, isn't it? That's
what it
is. The crossroads for everything.
Yeah. There's images around the country. People come across highwaymen. Crazy images that you wouldn't have even considered to be real, but actually come across them at certain points. So they're everywhere. But if you're sensitive to them, it doesn't always feel good.
No. Right. Thank you, everyone, for coming on. Sorry I spoke more than I normally do. I do apologise. But I just needed to tell you guys this because it's been at me all week, and it's like I've got to get out and just tell everyone exactly. So now it's out there, and you guys decide whatever it is you think it might be. So, merchandise. Going to be doing clothes range. Only posh stuff, only in checker. No, so I'm going to be doing hoodies, t-shirts, hats, key rings. But with the key ring, so it's going to be the alien in the circle where it says Andy Decode. So it's going to be that on one side. There's going to be QR code on the other side. So you scan it and it'll take you straight to the YouTube channel. So I'm going to get them done the next week. With the clothing, so me and Nicole was talking about this the other day. We don't know whether to have the four of us on it or one that says Tommy's not here, he's at a birthday party. Something like that. You can have whatever colour and whatever. You can just have the alien on there. You can have the rabbit on there. You can have the one with all of us. You can have us individually. It doesn't matter. It's endless designs. There's not just going to be one design and that's it. That's all you can have. It's pretty much whatever you choose. So if anyone is interested in merchandise, email merchandise@andydecoles.com or Messenger, Facebook, whatever. Or if you've got my number, just send me a text. I don't know the prices of them yet. It depends on what it is that you want. The key rings, I'll probably do them as a giveaway because they only cost like a couple of quid each, but you got to buy. I think you got to get a minimum of 25, 50. So I think I'll start giving them away to consistent pay members. I think that'd be fair. So yes, going to do that. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, guests.
Road trip guests.
So, right, guests. So, guests first. So, next Wednesday, we have Albert Rosales coming on. So he writes constantly about humanoid encounters around the world. But there's going to be a bit of a twist to it, isn't there, Nicole? But we're not allowed to say anything until the day.
Not yet.
No. So you will find out next Wednesday. Next Friday, nothing, because I'm out enjoying myself.
Seeing Abba.
Shh, don't tell everyone. I know. Can't wait.
Andy's
Anyway.
going to be the dance queen.
Definitely not. Next Wednesday, we've got Adrian Perkins coming on. He's a paranormal investigator that lives in Northampton. He's wrote a couple of books. One of the books, he's called The Paranormal Detective. I'm actually going to be meeting him in the next few days. I'm going to go for a drink in the pub where I'm going to be doing the monthly meetups from. So we're going to, because he only lives around the corner from there. It's literally in the middle of where we both live. So hopefully we're going to meet up with him. I'm going to discuss some stuff and he's going to be coming on the show. Next Friday, a week on Friday, the 5th, is called Sambuca Shots. Isn't it, ladies?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Not even open.
You're going to need that whole bottle.
Well, I was going to start drinking some this weekend and see how quick it'll kill me, but we'll find out.
No, leave it to surprise.
Yeah. Going in blind.
We're going to do that. We're going to be doing yes and no. I also have this coin that says how yes and F no. So that's going to be a decision making in taking the shots as well. It's still all going to be paranormal related. It's just going to be
at least for the first half.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. After that, I don't know where it's going to go. Then the 10th, Wednesday the 10th, we've got Vic Cundiff coming on from Dogman Encounter Radio. The following Friday, the 12th, that's going to be the Global Skywatch. So hopefully I'm going to be out on location to do that one. No one's booked in for the week after that. The last week of the month, we've got Jim Segala coming in on the 24th, which is Wednesday. He's one of the scientist guys from Skinwalker Ranch. So he's going to be on the show. And
Can I come on that one?
Well, you're coming on the 26th.
Can I come on the 24th? Because I'm really interested.
Yeah, if you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got Dominic twice in that week because on the 26th, it's the encrypted table again.
Well,
so, and we got Michaela Ford on Sunday the 14th of April because she lost her voice and couldn't come on. And then in July, I'm doing a paranormal road trip called Codes on the Road.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your decision, Nicole? You come up with that one, didn't you?
I think that was one of the ones that was getting thrown around, and I told you had to do that one.
All right, yeah. So I'm doing that. So with that, I've got a couple of weeks off work. A few of them days I can go out and do stuff on my own because it's just me. So I am actually going to be going up to Bempton. I've spoke to Paul Sinclair. Fingers crossed, and I'm going to meet up. I'm going to go to Bempton Cliffs and have a look at what Paul's been encountering for the last God knows how long. And I'm going to be doing location interviews with the people that I'm meeting up with as well. So some of them might be recorded due to satellite network, or if it's good signal, then I do it as a live stream. In between driving from location to location, I'm going to be interviewing people like we're doing now, virtually. Then I'm going to go to different parts of the UK. So I'm going to be going to Bempton, Rendlesham, Cannock, hopefully the New Forest, and over to Burton on the Water, which is over in the Cotswolds, where there's been a few shadow people sightings as well as big cat sightings. So I've got that as well. But I am looking for people who want to come with me because I don't really fancy driving around on my own trying to stay awake and doing streams.
You're gonna have your little spud, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I need to show Dominic this.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Because
yeah.
he might know. He might be able to see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's happening. So the road trip's happening middle 2 weeks of July. I've not got the exact date, but it's going to be between the 15th of July and the 29th. So it's good. I was going to do a 48-hour one, but I need to sleep and freshen up and all that. So what I'm going to do is do one, do it for the day, come back home, go out again, do a couple like that. The last couple of days, I was going to go out, stay over at Cannock anyway for a couple of nights. So I'm going to do that, but go to different locations. So that's that. Right.
I'm not far from Cannock, so I'll meet up with you if you want.
Yes, yeah. Because I know there's a few people that want to go Cannock. It's just the only thing is it's going to be during the week and not a weekend.
Midway
right?
Here.
Babies don't wait until Monday through Friday.
Yeah, well, Nicole can just get a plane over. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Off the plane.
We'll build a runway by then.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm just looking at something in the chat. Oh, so I'm going to show you this. Do you want to see the image or the video of it, Dominic?
Show me the image.
Right. So there you go. Thought you fell off your chair then.
I thought it was my teeth.
They're not that white, are they?
It might be now. Let's have a. What am I looking at, Andy? It's just a jar.
The thing in the jar.
Yeah, it's got very little energy signature around it. It's got a very sort of white, pure yellow sort of signature. So it doesn't really show me much at all because it looks like it's pickled.
Yes. So if I show you the video of it being rotated, would that give you anything else?
Is it out of the jar?
No.
No, because
so I've bought this. I just need to go and collect it. Even if it's fake, I'm not bothered. It's just one of them things that looks good, regardless.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to give you too much on it because all you see is just a pickled animal. Just a pickled life form in a jar. What it is probably anyone's understanding.
Would you say it was rubber, real, genuine, fake?
It's in vinegar. It's in acid or vinegar. Okay,
so it takes it away.
Yeah, which takes away the signature, and it's been dead quite a long time, I should think. I would probably go with something that's been created rather than actually born.
Yeah. Well, I'll play the video anyway. Yeah, if you want to unmute yourselves, I can't unmute you.
The arm is interesting. The arm looks quite real.
See, I don't know what it is. I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying it's fake. I'm not saying it's a monkey. I'm not saying anything. It's just, for me, it looks good. It's a nice thing to go with the rest of the stuff I've got. Some people will disagree, but
there you go, Andy. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you're not eating your dinner.
There you go.
I tend to go with the not real side of things.
I was going down that road anyway, but
it's a cool
I just
thing.
Thought if you could see, I thought if you could see something, then
no, most things have an energy color signature, right? All that you got from that is an energy color signature of the acid that is actually, or the embalming fluid that's in there. which is probably a combination of a few things. But it's very dead, and it's stopped having a frequency probably when it was first sort of cast out of rubber or out of foam or whatever it was cast out of, I should think.
Yeah. So someone asked me, am I going to open it? No, I'm going to seal it so I cannot open it, and I'm not tempted to open it after a few drinks. So it's staying in the jar.
Yeah, it's more of a display thing, isn't it, than an actual real thing?
Yeah. But I was talking to Simon about this, and he said when he was at school, he was in like a little cupboard thing where the photocopier is, and he found, sorry if this offends anyone, but he found the fetus of a baby in a pickle jar just there. He could have fell off his mouth. I think he said he put it in his pocket and we were walking around with it in his pocket during lunch break and then put it back. That would not happen now, or would it? I don't know. It could probably still happen at your school, Sarah. You never know.
Recycle sausage. Why not recycle babies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gross, isn't it? Whatever you
that was like,
do.
that'd be back in the 70s. So Simon's getting on a bit.
Still gross. It's not something that you would really want to encounter, is it? Or, Simon wouldn't be someone you want to encounter at school, would he? Because I can imagine
not with that in his pocket.
Not with that in his pocket. No, that wouldn't be a pleasant experience. I could mar you for life.
No, not for me. But
Well, imagine if he dropped it.
Well, that's what I thought.
No.
Oh, he didn't. It was a big jar. But was it big because he was little, or was it big because the thing inside it was big? Anyway, on that note, we're going to go. God, wait till next week when we've had a drink.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, that's going to be different.
Yeah,
So I have spoke to I spoke to Tommy today. He's definitely coming back. He is trying to sort the hours out at work. He's hoping to be back next Friday, but he can't guarantee anything at the minute. But I am having regular contact, and he's keeping me updated on everything. So,
so
it's all
you
good.
can still go and visit him, can you? You know, he's okay on visits and stuff like that.
And it's his birthday on June the 30th. I asked him today.
So he wasn't. So Tommy wasn't created, then he was born.
As far as I don't think that's him in the jar.
No. But you said his birthday was on the 30th of June, and I thought, well,
oh yeah, I don't know, 1980, whatever. I don't know.
I think you should get him to show you his belly button next time you meet him, just to make sure that he wasn't created.
No, I'm good.
You're gonna ask him to show you his belly button?
Yeah. By the way, Dominic said, get your belly button out.
He might on the 5th.
Yeah. Everybody show your belly buttons on the 5th to make sure you're real people.
Yeah. After a few sambucas, you never know.
Yeah, we need to see them. Yeah, definitely.
Right, so that is it. We are done. Here are the links if you want to go and watch the full video of BenchGuy. But it is April the 22nd. I think it's 2021. I'm not 100%. But if you go to the latest video in videos, not on lives, it's on there as the edited version. So it'll make it a lot easier for you to find. And that, my friends, is everything. Anyone got anything to add before we go?
Nope.
Dominic's very quiet.
No, I dance. I'm falling asleep now, Andy. I'm past my bedtime. So
that's your bedtime.
Past my bedtime.
Right.
So it's true.
So we're gonna go, and we'll see you on Wednesday at 8:30. So have a wonderful weekend. And when I find the video, we can go. Right. Thank you, Dom, for coming on. Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Nicole. See you all Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.